Kingdom Hearts. There are two types of reactions to that name. The first is, oh, I love Kingdom Hearts. And then there's the second. I used to be the second one. I was fully aware of how dumb Kingdom Hearts is, which is why I stood away from the series for a very long time. But over the years, my opinions changing and maturing, and after watching some dumbasses play the game, I was like, huh, maybe I should give it a shot. Then next thing I knew, a couple days later, I'm walking out of a GameStop with a copy of Kingdom Hearts 2.5 Remix. Now, after finishing the game for the first time, I could fully say with confidence that it's still as dumb and complicated as I thought it would be, but I genuinely enjoyed it. Fuck, there's more, isn't there? The start of the game is pretty slow, and we don't meet any of the Disney characters yet. Instead, we play a slice-of-life anime with our amnesiac main protagonist, Roxas, the best fucking character in this game! Close to Winnie the Pooh! Roxas' story is best summarized as him living his life and having some fun. As of right now, he's in the last days of summer and he needs to finish his school assignment with some of his back alley friends. But he's also having these weird dreams of him being another kid named Sora. On top of that, there are also strange happenings arising throughout town. Now, while all of this is happening, he goes through his own little journey of side jobs, fighting random bullies, winning a tournament, and, falling to death?
Naminé, what's happening to me?
Seems like you're falling, Roxas.
Who are you? And that's not my name.
What the fuck, aren't you getting the same call?
Kairi.
Is this a three-way call?
You're that girl he likes.
What the fuck, are you ignoring me? You deserve that. Fucking dick.
So after not dying, the world begins to glitch and he
Finds the computer room!
Here is where he finds out that he's in the fucking Matrix. He regains his memories and realizes that everything is fake. His friends are fake. His life is fake. His life was as valuable as a summer ant! Why do I smell burning?
Simply amazing, Roxas.
Axel.
You really do remember me this time. I'm so flattered! But you're too late! This is my message to my master. This is a fight you cannot win. I think that past your great disasters, if victory stirs below your skin. If you could see, I will not blame you. I will move forth and win your war. But if I should die before you continue, you shall have heard my final dying roar. You get on their bad side and they'll destroy you!
No one would miss me.
That's not true. I would.
Axel.
Let's meet again in the next life.
Yeah, I'll be waiting.
Silly. Just because you have a next life.
You didn't finish your sentence, dick. After curb stomping Raxel? I almost said Raxel. After curb stomping Axel, Roxas reunites with Sora and becomes one with him again. Sora then gets some new clothes, and then we finally begin Kingdom Hearts 2. Also, Pete and Maleficent are here, I guess. They don't really do much in the story, but yeah, this is as much attention they're gonna get anyway. Hello. This is very abrupt, I know. Take this as a time to acknowledge everything what just happened, because I just realized that things have been going really fast. Not just only because I talk really fast, but also because I simplified a shitload of things. So I really do apologize, and there's like very little pauses in between everything, and you know, it's kind of a mess. This is my first time doing this, so I do apologize if it gets a little overwhelming or messy. But also, speaking of overwhelming, well, the reason why this break session is here is because it's also here for me to talk about. This is the part where I put the game down for a bit. Around this time, I was at Beast's Castle. I finished Land of Dragons, and it was going pretty linear so far, and I was like trying to remember all the stuff that they introduced. Then they just suddenly introduced Winnie the Pooh's side story and all that, and that was just very, I think that was like the tipping point of me just being like super overwhelmed, because prior to that, I was, you know, trying to remember all of these things that, you know, Kingdom Hearts was introducing and all that, like the mechanics, the synthesizing, all that stuff, and it was getting to my head, essentially. And kind of half of it was my fault, because, you know, normally a lot of people would see this and be like, oh, okay, that's cool, I won't really think about it too much, but I overthunk it, and so it just kind of made me fry my brain. But it's not entirely my fault. The way the game introduced everything to me, it felt very overwhelming, at least for me in my first experience. Maybe not to everyone, but, you know, to each their own. But yeah, after they introduced Winnie the Pooh, it was like the tipping point or the breaking point of my brain to not fry itself over. So I was just like, alright, I'll just lay off Kingdom Hearts for a bit and then come back to it when I feel better. Took a couple months for that to happen because I had to do stuff, but other than that, I went back and I continued playing the game with the new mindset of just kind of go with the flow sort of deal, so that I won't fry my brain again. But yeah, with that out of the way, now we go into the middle part of my experience, which is the bulk of where everything happens. And yeah. Now I can go on and on about explaining every story about the worlds, but since there's like 15 worlds in total, I'm not going to explain everything in detail, so I'll try to keep it brief. There are 12 Disney-related worlds, and these worlds represent different movies or media Disney has made within that time. Most of these worlds Sora has already explored within the previous games, so some characters already know who Sora and the gang are. Then there are new worlds that haven't been explored yet, which leads to first-time interactions, or sometimes the Disney characters just forget about them. Nomura probably has a thing for lobotomy or something. Within these worlds, the story is the same to whatever media they represent. For example, in the Atlantis world, you play through the story of My Little Mermaid, but slightly altered because Sora being a sore thumb and having to get rid of the Heartless and such. The three non-Disney worlds are where the plot of the story mostly takes place. These are where the Final Fantasy characters show up and kinda help progress the plot in some way. Speaking of the plot, I should talk about that. There are two parts of the main story. The second part is activated by doing the Disney World stories for the first time, which also triggers a main plot event at Hollow Bastion / Radiant Garden, however you want to say it. So buckle in, cause you're gonna be listening to the first half of the story. Sora was in a coma for a year because in the previous game he was getting his memories blended in a blender, and in order to regain his memories he needed to be put in a comatose state while a blonde girl redraws his memories. Within that year, a Diet Akatsuki was being formed out of strong doppelgangers called Nobodies, They had a plan to, quote-unquote, seek to reclaim their hearts and become whole again. Which, spoilers, they couldn't succeed because 1, they were kinda assholes to each other, 2, Riku was foiling their plans from the sidelines, and 3, Roxas betrayed everyone because he was forced to kill his best friend. He also had a cool-ass fight scene and shit. After those events, it continues through Roxas' story, which was explained earlier, thus led to Sora's awakening. Sora now has to fight the Heartless and the Nobodies and try to figure out and stop Organization 13 from whatever bad shit they were doing. Which we later found out that they were trying to do the exact same thing the first antagonist did, but artificially. Also, Sora has to find Riku and Kairi again because one of them got kidnapped and the other one is being edgy. Similar to the first game. I'm starting to see a pattern here. But just before our heroes were getting some progression— Holy shit, President! Get down! Goofy's fucking dead! Oh, wait, never mind. Hollow Bastion gets fucking Raid Shadow Legend! And we get to fight an entire army of Heartless, which was fucking awesome. We didn't fight the entire army by ourselves until like the end bit, but it was still cool nonetheless. Like, you get to fight fucking, like, 1,000 fucking Heartless and shit. Even though they're like easy to kill, it's still a cool ass moment, it's fun to do, so that was fucking awesome. And then, the leader of the Nobodies is revealed to be Xemnas, the nobody of Xehanort. He just talks shit and leaves. Then Axel comes in and explains to us that killing the Heartless is benefiting Organization 13, Sora gets bullied a bit, and then we return to our regularly scheduled Disney World tour. At this point of the game, I found out that there are 2 halves of the story, and I was super fucking nervous because I wanted to get the secret ending. And because of that, I tried to get all the stories done and over with before I continue with the main story. Also, fuck you, Atlantis, and your stupid fucking singing. I wanna kick some ass! Enter the second half of the story. After dealing with the Disney Worlds again, we head into the Matrix because there's a secret door that leads our heroes to where the villain's hideout is located. Why is it in the Matrix? Fuck if I know. Enter the world that never was. You can tell I like this world because it has a dumbass name, and it has a cool ass level design. What?
Donald! Goofy!
Oh shit, it's Roxas!
A Keyblade?
Oh shit, it's Roxas.
I want Shion back. I want my life back!
You make a good other.
That was fucking sick. And yes, I pulled 2 edits out of my ass in a row, sue me. Continuing on from that, Sora and the gang finds the hideout and were able to reunite with Riku and Kairi. After a cheesy ass boss. How the fuck was I supposed to know to run in circles at this part? He stunlocks me!
Riku! It's Riku. Riku's
Whoa.
here.
This is
I
so
looked for you.
unnecessarily stupidly gay. And
Come
I'm
on,
all
Sora.
for it. Sora, I'm right here! Shut up, Mo, my bro's alive! Now I, Christopher Lee, shall commence pissing on the moon. What the fuck, my moon? Fuck this, I'm out. Get away from me. What the fuck did I just say? Now we're at the final stage. The stage where they put all their budget on. One of my favorite moments of the game because it's just pure action back to back. Look at this! Sora starts cutting through buildings, hopping through debris, and starts jumping from one engine to another after destroying them. Like, goddamn, I wish there were more games that do this shit, cause this fucking rocks. After being armored Xemnas for the first time, we get 2 more stages. The second stage, we fight a fucking mecha dragon. In the third stage, it merges with a fake city and becomes a half armored Xemnas and this dragon thing? What the fuck is happening? And here's another cool thing. The boss starts throwing buildings at us again, right? Sora grabs one of them with Riku on top, throws it at the boss with Riku still on top, and then Riku cuts the building into pieces and adds more damage. How cool is that? How can it get any better than this?
Anger and hate are supreme.
God, I love this game. But it's still stupid. Like I said before, the way the game introduced everything to me was a bit overwhelming, and the game doesn't guide you throughout the story per se. The game kind of forces you to find out what to do next with little to no information sometimes. Unless it's a new story unlocked, I wouldn't have known that I needed to go back to the previous worlds in order to progress. I understand if the goal was to make you explore and try to find things out by yourself, but I feel like it couldn't hurt if they just gave us a little thing like, hey, we're getting some odd readings from some of the worlds, you should go check them out. or some sort of small notification to let you know that you're progressing throughout the entirety of the game and not just plot points of the story. Even though that's the whole point. Whatever, you get what I mean. And some of the bosses and enemies can be a bit cheap sometimes, and a lot of people can just say, well, get good, dumbass. It's kinda hard to do that when the game doesn't show you how! The combat mechanics is just spamming square, X, and occasionally triangle for sort of QTE or special event for some of the enemies and most of the bosses. And your basic moveset that you would naturally have in a 3D hack and slash would be gotten by leveling up. I understand glide, quick run, and high jump, but dodging? I need to level up to learn how to dodge? Now do keep in mind on certain things. This is my first time playing the game, as well that I do understand that this game has been out for over a decade, so most of these complaints Square Enix has probably already heard and made changes in the games later on, so most of this complaining wouldn't really do much. Sure, Kingdom Hearts as a whole is really, really, really dumb. But I can say without a doubt that Kingdom Hearts 2 is something special. At least to me. I have a soft spot for early 2000s things, so just playing this game I can feel the anemoia of a teenager playing this for the first time in the early 2000s. There are so many other games out there that I want to try as well, but this one stuck out to me. It made me feel like a kid again, which I know I'm not that old by most people's standards, but I forget sometimes how it felt like to be a kid again, because responsibilities and such. So playing this game really resonated with me. I just really wanted to express how much fun I had playing through this, despite some of its flaws in story writing, voice acting, etc. This game was just really fun. And if you were like me, who didn't like Kingdom Hearts at first, but never played any of the games, give it a shot. You still probably won't like it, but now you have more of a reason to explain why you don't like it. This is going to sound very cheesy, but I know my reasons for liking Kingdom Hearts 2 is very monkey brain compared to the rest of the hardcore gamers. But as long as you're having fun and the game isn't too bad to make you turn it off, I think that's what really matters.